Hello and good afternoon slash evening, everybody. My name is Adriana and I will be walking us through a heart opening asana style practice today, which will include a pranayama 3 breath practice as well. And as always, everything I say is simply a suggestion. You are always going to be your body's best teacher and advocate. So listen to any sensation within, listen to any feel-good things. If it feels good, feel free to stay in any asana for a longer period of time. If something's not serving your body or you're feeling an acute sensation of pain, feel free to back out and come into any restorative shape of your choice, such as child's pose, happy baby, downward facing dog, or simply knees to chest, if you would like. And as always, everything is optional except for your breathing. So with that being said, I invite you to find a comfortable seated position on your mat. This can be something like easy pose, or you can come into staff if that works a little bit better for your body. You can always add a space in between the hips to bring a bit more stability in staff pose if you find you need it. You can also come into a bound angle with your feet together, and you can always grab onto the front of your shins and ankles for extra support to use arms as a prop to add length through the spine. And I invite you to soften your gaze or close your eyes, your choice, and begin to simply notice your breath, just as it is without changing anything about it. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, or pursed lips, your choice. And you can continue to use this breathing pattern for the remainder of our practice. Inhaling through the nose, sending your breath in and down. Exhaling through the nose or lips, sending the breath out and up. You can use this moment to set up an intention for your practice. And anytime you become distracted, as we humans tend to get, you can always come back to your intention or simply your breath. On your next inhale, allow for your shoulders to come all the way up to your ears. As you exhale, allow your shoulders to roll down your back body. As you inhale, breathing in presence. As you exhale, breathing in awareness. Inhale, space. Exhale, settling into what is. Inhale, trust, love to the self. Exhale, criticism. If you haven't already, you can begin to deepen and lengthen your breath, perhaps adding 1 more second to the top of your inhale, bottom of your exhale, and holding space for the moments in between. Preparing to give yourself permission to take up as much space as you like, permission to make mistakes, and most importantly, permission to try again whenever you're ready. 5 more deep rounds of breath in through the nose, out through the nose, or pursed lips. With your eyes still closed or soft gaze, your choice. Give yourself permission to change shape of your seated position if you'd like. If your legs were crossed, I'd like you to bring the other opposite leg to the front. or you can simply just change your position if you are in a symmetrical position. We'll now begin the 7 spinal action warm-up before we begin the main portion of our practice. So to begin, inhale, lift up, arms overhead, palms facing each other. Exhale, cactus arms, leading with the elbows somewhere in line with the shoulders if that's available to you. Fingers spread as wide as they like to be here. Inhale, lift arms up and overhead, look up, lean back any amount, or bring the palms of your hands to the base of your skull, opening up through the heart here, opening the shoulders. You can also bring your palms to the floor and come tent up on your finger pads, making something of a waffle cone shape with your hands. Breathing in space through the heart. To the self, exhale, and criticism. Resentment towards the self. Inhale, lift your palms up and overhead. Exhale, lower right palm, lean to the right hand. If you'd like, you can make this dynamic by inhale, lifting arms back up overhead. Exhale, drop that right palm, lean to the right hand. Your shoulders drop away from your ears. You can help in this by pressing the floor away from you. Inhale, lift arms up overhead. Exhale, lower left palm, lean to the left. Again, symmetry wherever possible. So if you did dynamic movement, I thought you did. Inhale, lift arms up. Exhale, lower left palm once again. Lean to the left and out. Rooting down through the right sit bone. Sometimes the opposite side tends to want to lift. Just rooting down through that sit bone, making sure the right shoulder is in line with the left. Inhale, both arms up and overhead. Exhale, twist to the right any amount. Left palm can come to your right leg. Right hand off to the side somewhere, or perhaps near your lower back. Twisting through the spine. Keeping your shoulders in one long plane. Using exhales to twist and warm up. Inhale, lift both arms up and overhead. Exhale, twist to the left and even out. Again, twisting through the spine, keeping those shoulders in one plane. You can choose to keep your nose above your sternum, or if you feel called, you can soften your gaze over your left shoulder. If you notice too strong of a sensation, you can always decrease the angle of the twist. Inhale, lift both palms up and overhead. Exhale, cactus arms once again, opening through the heart. Staying cactus or lower palms to the ground, lifting through the heart, adding length through the spine, breathing soft. Inhale, lift both palms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward any amount. If you'd like, you can simply bring your palms to your legs, bow your head forward, or place your hands on the mat and walk them forward any amount. Option 2, bring 2 blocks underneath the palms here and use the blocks as props to extend your palms. Pressing down through my finger pads, bringing in tension, awareness. Remembering that the heart not only has front doors, but back doors as well, opening the heart space through the back of the body as well. Inhale, walk your hands back whenever you are ready. Turn and bring your palms to the mat. Slide your legs out and underneath you, coming into a hands and knees tabletop position. We'll flow through some cat-cow practice here before we come into the remainder of our practice for some standing asanas. So to begin, marching your palms up and down in space to help find underneath shoulders, and feel free to slide them on the bottom millimeter in space. You always have the option to come up onto ball fist. Placing your fist underneath your shoulders, lifting your ears up in space. Sometimes our ears like to fall forward, just lovingly pulling them up in space. As if there is a band of cloth wrapped around your torso, pull your belly up with control. On your next inhale, lift through the heart, lower the belly, lift the crown, press down through the tops of your feet. Inhale. Finding our cow shape here. Always get the two confused. On your exhale, push the floor away from you. Round through your upper. Tuck chin slightly. Rounding through the upper back. Pressing the floor away with the shins, tops of your feet. We'll move through 3 rounds each side, following your in breath. Inhale. Open through the heart, drop your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale. Push the floor away. Allow for the shoulders to come up towards the ears. Inhale. Once you've finished your rounds, come into a neutral hands and knees tabletop position. On your next exhale, sink your hips back, edging up, coming into our first child's pose. Feel free to add space in between the knees here if you'd like to create more space for your body to be. And extend your arms toward the top of your mat, hips to field anymore now. Feel free to rock side to side, making this any more amount more somatic and enjoyable for you. Stay or bring your legs to hug. Bring your arms to hug your legs, excuse me. Stay for 2 more rounds of breath here in your chest. Inhale, walk your palms forward, pause for a minute. On your next inhale, press your palms to the floor and inhale, roll up through the spine, bring your knees back underneath the hips. Feel free to march your palms in place, slide them up a millimeter. Tuck your toes, and on your next exhale, press through the palms, press through the feet. Exhale, send your hips up and back in space. Your knees can bend a lot in downward facing dog. This is still good yoga if your knees are bent. Feel free to pedal the feet here. You can also turn your head as if you're shaking no to make this more of an isolated hamstring stretch. Pressing into the palms, the thumb, the pointer, the middle finger. On your next inhale, roll up onto the balls of your feet. Step, hop, or walk your feet forward. You can grab onto your ankles and pull them up in space. Exhale, forward fold. In standing position. Feel free to stay just as you are, or grab onto either elbow, and stand. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Shaking our head yes to maybe things that serve us, things that feel good. Shaking our head no to things that we'd like to leave in the past, perhaps, or things that just aren't serving us anymore. On your next inhale, release your palms, roll up in the spine again, your knees can bend. Rolling up through the lower back, middle back, upper back. Good. If you're lightheaded, tuck your chin and wiggle asana if you wanna. We'll now be coming into the main ingredients of our standing practice. And I will keep these blocks here nearby. If you have blocks at home, feel free to use them. I will pull them in for various lessons. So to begin, again, finding our mountain pose. Our feet are underneath our hips, resembling something like the number 11s. Our knees are slightly bent to protect our knees. Palms on our side. Feel free to grab your fingers and gently push your thighs back in space about a quarter inch, just to give your pelvis that natural forward tilt. Shoulders are broad, opening up through the heart space here, broadening through your collarbones. Heart above hips, head above heart. On your next inhale, lift your arms up and overhead, extend the mountain. Looking up, leaning back in the middle. Exhale, cactus arms, opening up through the heart space here, broadening through the collarbones. Try to bring the tops of your hands together in the space anywhere now in your back body. On your next inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. We'll do this 3 times and make some dynamic movement here. Exhale, cactus arms, lift up. Inhale, come back up to our starting position. And one more round following your own breath. Let your palms meet at the top if they'd like, or you can keep them separate. If they're separate, you can always bring your right hand to your right hip. Exhale, lean to the right any amount. If your arms are up and together, you can interconnect your fingers here and use your arms as props, hugging your upper arm bones towards your ears. Again, rooting down through that left toe. Sometimes our left foot wants to lift when we're leaning. So lovingly rooting down through that big toe down on the left foot. Inhale, come center. Exhale, lean to the left any amount. Again, option 2, bring your left hand to your left hip. Rooting down through your right big toe down, palm facing the floor if that's available to you. Inhale, lift both arms up and overhead. Exhale, lower palms down the midline of your body, stopping at your heart center. Pause for a moment and simply notice, if any, difference in the breath since the beginning of our practice. If any difference in the fluctuations of the mind since the beginning of our practice. If any difference in the body since the beginning of our practice. Exhale, lower palms to side, wiggle asana if you want. Allow for your arms to connect in your back body. If you find connecting through the back body brings too much sensation, you can always extend your palms down to the bottom of the floor and just pretend that they're touching. Simply bringing that intention here. You can also bring your hands together in prayer near your lower back, or interconnect your fingers here. Charlie's Angel fingers optional. And allow for your arms to pull down towards the earth, as if there was a string connecting your palms to the earth. 3 deep breaths in this offering. On your inhales, you can lift your arms any amount in space that feels good for you. If it doesn't, stay where you are. Good. Exhale, release. Again, wiggle asana if you wanna, whenever in between these asanas. Next, we'll be doing a quad stretch with some heart opening intention as well. So to begin, always have the option to hold onto a wall and slightly bend your left knee, really rooting down through your left big toe. On your next exhale, bend your knee, kick your foot into your palm, and with no more than 5 pounds of pressure, lovingly pulling that heel towards your glutes. You can remove your hand from the wall And if you wiggle, congratulations, you are human. Stay for one more deep round of your breath. Soft gaze. It can help to balance to find one focal point in your background. Softening the gaze to soften the body, to soften the mind. Exhale, release. Root down through your right toe. And again, you can always hold onto a wall if you'd like. And slightly bend right knee. Kick your left foot into your. Again, no more than 5 pounds of pressure. Pulling my heel in towards your glutes. Finding one focal point to help find your balance. You can release the wall if you'd like. You can also use your arm as an extension of yourself to find more balance. Stay for 2 more deep rounds of your breath. Opening here through the heart space, broadening through the collarbones. Exhale, release. Come to a tall kneeling position, somewhere near the back end of your mat. Hands on hips if you'd like, and on your next exhale, step your right foot forward, low lunge. Stay here or exhale, lean forward any amount, freeing your right foot with your palms. Right knee stacked above right ankle. Stay or plant that left hand down. Exhale, twist open towards the right, opening the heart space here. Nose above sternum or soft gaze over that right shoulder, anywhere in between. Stay for 2 rounds of breath. Wrist stacked above my elbow stacked above my shoulder. Exhale, release. Stay or come back up to our starting low lunge position. Bring your palms to the back, your lower back. Look up or lean back in. Stay for 2 rounds of your breath. Exhale, fold forward. Tuck your back left toes. Lift up off your back knee. On your next inhale, lift up into your high lunge. Lifting your torso and your arm out off your thighs. Stay here or lean back there and up. Option to bring hands to hips here. Hands to lower back. Soft gaze, nose above sternum. One more deep round of your breath. Exhale, fold forward, creating that back foot. Drop your back knee. And bring your right knee to meet your left. You can wiggle your hips side to side. Exhale, sink it back into child's pose. Stay for 2 rounds of breath, and we'll come up and do the other side. Press through the palms, inhale, roll up through the spine. Hands and knees, tabletop position. Walk your hands back into a tall kneeling position. Hands on hips if you'd like. Exhale, step your left foot forward, left knee above left ankle. Stay in low lunge. Rooting down to the top of your foot on the right foot. Big toe mound, 4 corners of the foot on the left foot. Exhale, fold forward. Stay here for a moment. And press through the right palm, leaving it inside the left foot. Exhale, twist open to the left and your mouth. Noticing here perhaps no 2 bodies the same, no 2 sides of the same body the same. And that's okay. Nose above sternum, my joints are stacked here. starting from shoulder to elbow, elbow to wrist. Inhale, lower left hand. Tuck your back toes. Inhale, lift up into your high lunge. Palms come up and overhead, lifting my torso up off my thighs, anywhere amount. Stay or lean back and lean up. Your arms can come into cactus here. They can also come towards your lower back. Bring your palms to your hips. Bringing into the collarbones, bringing in more space for your heart to exist. When you're ready, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, drop that knee. When you're ready, slide your left knee to come meet your right. We'll be doing something like child's pose, but a bit different. This next one is the Sanskrit pose, meaning to bow. So coming into our pranayama. So tuck your toes. Exhale, sink your hips back, pressing into the palms. Something like child's pose, but due to the difference in our feet, this changes the muscles that are being used in our back. Pressing into the palms to help bring your hips towards your heels. Inhale, roll up through the spine, bringing our palms again underneath our shoulders, sliding them up about 1 millimeter in space. Fingers are spread wide, pressing through the finger pads. If you like, you can also set up your blocks underneath your forearms, elbows underneath shoulders. On your next exhale, lift your knees up off the mat, coming into our high plank. Staying here for 3 rounds of your breath. Pressing into the floor through the balls of the feet, through the arms. Kicking your back heels towards the back of your mat. Your knees can also always be dropped for plank. This is still good plank. The most important thing in plank is the spine here. So keeping the crown of your head and your tail in one long plank. When you're ready, drop your knees. Bend your elbows, begin to lower chest. On your next inhale, let your hips meet the mat, coming first into our baby cobra. From here, we have a few options. You can inhale, come into baby cobra. Stay here in baby cobra, or next inhale, come up into your cobra, putting down the pelvis. Stay, or lift your knees up off the mat, coming into upward facing dog. Wherever you are. Too big if you find that's too much. You can also have your thumbs in line with your chest here, and lift your palms up off the mat. Lifting up through the heart space. Chin slightly tucked to protect the neck. When you're ready, exhale, release. Stack your palms one on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. And stay for 2 rounds of breath, simply notice. On your next exhale, walk your hands out off the top of your mat. Legs are long behind us. On your next inhale, lift your right palm and your left foot up and stay hanging out. Rooting down through the pelvis, pressing down through the left hand, right foot. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up through the left palm, right foot, hanging out. Stay for 1 deep round of breath. Exhale, release.
On your next inhale, lift up both palms, heart and crown. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, lift both legs up in space, knees and thighs any amount. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, you have the option to do any of those that felt good or both. So I would call for both arms, both legs. Feel free to do what works best for your body. On your next inhale, lift both arms, both legs. Rooting down through the pelvis. Lifting heart, lifting crown. One more breath. Exhale, release. Stack your palms. This time bring your opposite palm to the top. Hold for 2 rounds of breath. On your next exhale, bend your knees. You can bring more space in between the knees here and simply windshield wipe your legs side to side. Releasing through the hips, remembering the hips are the juncture of the human body. There is a lot of things that get stored there. Stay here with your knees bent. Bring your palms to your side body, tenting up on your fingertips. Stay here, or on your next inhale, lift up through the heart, lift up through the ground. Finger pads pressing into the mat. Bring your feet any more out towards your feet. Stay, or one by one, kick your heels into your palms. Root down through the thighs, through the pelvis. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Stay for 2 rounds of your breath. On your next exhale, slower than you think you need to go, release. Come to roll onto your back. Well, here again, heel toe your feet away, so your heels are about mat to mat distance apart. Use your exhales to let your legs fall over to the right. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, let them fall over to the left. Chin slightly tucked here. Knee to knee. Arms can come into cactus here, pressing into your shoulders, or they can come out to a T, palms face down, your choice. We'll do 2 more rounds each side. One by one, bring your knees in towards your chest. You can either grab onto the backs of your thighs or the tops of your knees, your choice. Whatever works best for your body today. Feel free to rock side to side, giving your spine a gentle spine massage. Lift your right arm up towards space and cross it over your left shoulder. Lift your left arm up towards space and cross it over your right. Give yourself a loving hug. And remember that your heart is deserving of all the love that you give to the others around you. Again, pressing arms out into a T or cactus arms, so the tops of the palms press down. Step your knees above your hips. Feet are flexed. Stay here, or on your exhale, let your knees fall over to the right. Try and keep them stacked if that's a little bit. If your left shoulder is lifting up slightly, soft gaze up to the ceiling, or if you like, Exhale, turn your head to the left, creating a double twist in spine here. Hold for one more deep round of breath. Inhale, bring gaze and knees back to center. On your next exhale, let your knees fall over to the left. You can always bring your left or right palm to the top of the opposite leg and slightly push it down for about 5 to 7 pounds. If you turn your head on the other side, I'd like you to exhale, turn your gaze towards the right, hold for 2 rounds. Inhale, bring gaze and knees up to center. Exhale, slowly lower your feet to the ground, slower than you think you need to go. Noticing perhaps the expression of the spine, noticing your sit bones rooting down to the earth. Once your feet land, on an exhale, allow for your knees to fall out to the left and right. Trying to see if you can slow it down enough to bring symmetry into the release. Finding our reclined down angle. Another option here, if you would like to feel less flexion in the hips, is to bring blocks underneath the thighs. This can help reduce the flexion in your hips. Also, yoga blocks having 3 settings. We have the baby bear setting, we have the mama bear, and the papa bear. So finding the setting that works for you is important. You can also bring them underneath your knees. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. And on your next 2 rounds of breath, inhale deep through the nose. Exhale, let's take a cleansing breath together. One more deep cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. For today's pranayama practice, we'll be doing a 3-part breath series, which is a 3-part inhale, 1-part exhale. So to begin, it will look something like this. Keep in mind, you can always return to your easy effortless step at any point in time if this becomes too much. Or yoga. So 3-part breath. We'll start by breathing in through the nose and sending our breath 1/3 of the way down into our chest. Pause, inhale, 2/3 of the way down to the belly. Pause, inhale, 3/3 of the way to your pelvic floor. Pause, exhale, let it all go through the nose or through the mouth, your choice. One more time all together. Inhaling through the nose, inhale 1/3. Pause, inhale 2/3. Pause, inhale 3/3. Pause, exhale, let it all go. Ten more rounds following your own breath. After the 10 rounds, you can return to your easy, effortless breath. We'll have about a minute of silence to simply notice, to simply sit with anything that chooses to come up, and choosing to look at it with eyes of love and compassion. Good. When you're ready, allow for your side if they're not already. And on your next inhale breath, slowly begin to bring your knees together in space. At some point, your feet will separate and return back to the mat. That's okay. When you're ready, lift your right arm up and over your head, allow for your feet to come center long, extending your arms, taking your pencil stretch here. Allow for your feet to fall a bit wider and wrists. If you'd like, you can bring your blocks underneath your knees to make this a bit more restorative. Do so until you're comfortable. Blocks or a blanket, a pillow, a bolster can be applied underneath the knees to take more pressure away from the lower back, making this more restorative. Palms face up if that's available to you. Allow for your chin to tuck in slightly towards your chest. Get any amount more comfortable by putting on socks, putting on a blanket, a jacket, anything for you to be able to give yourself complete permission to do nothing other than to be, other than to breathe. Arms at your side. If you'd like, you can bring them to your breathing body. I'll be walking us through a gentle body scan, after which my voice will fade away for the next 3 to 4 minutes. And again, I would just like you to give yourself complete permission to just be, to just breathe. You can always come back to your intention, or you can simply use the group intention of heart opening, really rooting down through the shoulders, feeling the natural curvature of the middle back. If you become distracted by any sounds, any thoughts, remind yourself that that's okay too. We're human, and as long as you try your best, that is enough. To begin, bring your mind's wandering eyes attention to the crown of your head. Inner ears, beginning to allow any outer sounds to melt away. Outer ears and earlobes. Forehead. Eyebrows. The creases between your eyebrows, seeing if you can allow for any more tension to melt away from the face. Eyes, soft gaze or closed if that's available to you. Nose and the temperature and sensation of upper jaw. Teeth slightly parted. Tongue resting in the roof of your mouth. Lower jaw, swallowing once if you'd like to help release any tension in the lower jaw. Tops of the shoulders. Upper arm bones. Elbows. Forearms, and which parts of your forearms, if any, are touching the mat. Tops of the hands. Fingers. Palms of the hands. Chest. Tops of your shoulder blades, aka your collarbones. Rib cage and the way it expands and contracts as you breathe. Your easy, effortless breath. In through the nose, out through the nose or pursed lips. Heart. And any extra space you may have created through the heart today. Belly button and the way it rises and falls as you breathe. Top of the spine located in the base of your skull. Shoulder blades in your back body. Heart space in your back body. The middle curvature of your back. lower back, sit bones, glutes, tops of the hips, bottoms of the hips and where they connect to your inner thighs, backs of the thighs, knees, kneecaps, calves, shins, ankles, Achilles tendons, tops of the foot, toes, arches of the feet, soles of the feet and where they connect to the soles of the earth. My voice is now going to fade away and we'll spend the next 3 minutes just breathing, just being. If you'd like, you can bring some subtle movement back into the body by keeping your eyes closed or soft gaze, your choice. Begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Draw small circles with the wrists, small circles with the ankles. Pause, reverse your circles. On your next inhale, lift both arms up and overhead. Taking one last long instructional position. Exhale, slowly bring your knees in towards your chest one by one. Give yourself a loving hug. Rock side to side, bringing some awakening back into the spine here. When you're ready, lift your right arm up and overhead. Exhale, roll to the right. Using your right arm as a pillow, pause for a moment. You can kick your blocks away from you. Knees stacked. When you are ready, slowly press into your palm and come to a comfortable seated position of your choice. If you crossed your legs in the beginning of your practice, you can bring the opposite leg to the front for this. Palms in your lap, or you can choose to bring them together, heart center, bowing forward in gratitude. I thank you all for sharing your practice with me. And I thank all the teachers that have came before me to show us this beautiful gift of yoga. May we always remember that yoga can translate not just to your mat, but to your outside world as well. Beautiful things can happen when we try. Beautiful things can happen when we look at ourselves through eyes of compassion, eyes of gentle ease, instead of eyes of criticism. May we always remember that we are the point the universe was trying to be. That with action and with intention, we can do just about anything we set our minds to. And may we always live like the lotus at home, in the muddy waters. Namaste. Thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Hi, beautiful. You want to come up?